So yeah, I got these moving jitters, I got a date, June 1st, I'm gonna move. Thing is, the only other time I ever moved on my own was, to like a friendly house where I didn't really have to worry too much about it. I had a job, I moved closer to a job I already had. Uber, I'm not going to have a house. I'm not going to have a job lined up. Like, I'm just going. Like, I'm actually going to, like, look and see if I even vibe with the place that I'm looking at. You know what I mean? It's a daunting prospect. And, like, I had 3 months to get down there and shit like this, but I figured I'm better off staying here and making as much money as possible while I can before I'm out. What I did do is prepare to fucking live out of my fucking car. So my original intention was to fucking dump everything in the trunk. But, I was like, I got the bright idea, get one of them fucking things on the roof. Then I can keep all my shit on the roof, or a lot of my shit on the roof, and still be able to take passengers, if that's how it's going to work with Uber right off the rip. It might. I'm hoping it does. Like, Uber will recognize my insurance and shit, in a different state. It might. Depends on the state and whatnot. I hear tell it might. As a backup, I can do the Uber Eats, possible. I've never been able to sign up for Uber Eats around here, but I might be able to do so wherever I wind up. So that's also a possibility too, whatever the case may be. It's just a money thing. It's a money thing. I don't want to rent. I really want to avoid renting. I want to, I'm going to find a place and I say, okay, this is workable. I'll fucking work it. You know what I mean? And then just do what I got to do to get the house in my name and, be clear on it. And then after that, who knows? But, it's daunting. It's daunting. Like, being able to work and move would be good. I could live out of a fucking campsite, you know what I mean? I could even leave the tent fucking set up and just, sleep at a fucking campsite, weather permitted. Hot water I can get in the bathroom, public bathroom or something like that, you know what I mean? Or, like, once in a blue, rent a fucking hotel room. Like, okay, hey, I rented enough for the fucking Motel 6. I made enough this shift for the Motel 6. My, what do you call it? My concern would be like a mailing address, That would be my main concern. Like, what would I guess, do P.O. boxes count as a mailing address for purposes of licensing and stuff like that? It's like, because I got money wrapped up in my fucking TLC insurance. And, it really cruxes upon not to, like, to do the Uber passenger stuff. I can get a feel for if a place is going to be decent for passengers. I know what to look for as far as concerning Uber passengers. You know what I mean? It's like I'm looking for hotels. If there's hotels, there's Uber stuff at play. If there's hotels, the place I'm looking at has got a couple hotels in it. It looks like, the more I look at it, the more I'm excited to see this place, honestly. But, then it's a matter of actually, like, what do I commit to here? Do I commit to am I a campsite fucking Uber driver / Uber Eats driver? Living in a campsite and taking a legit shower once every couple days. Am I working a shift just to pay for my lodging for the evening? Do I bite the bullet and sign a lease and rent the place for a little bit? Before buying a place? These questions on my budget, because the renting is like you're throwing money away. You know what I mean? You're trading hard-earned cash for fucking, stability, basically. So these questions arise, and I'm trying to prepare for as much as I can. I got like a little cooler, I got the toolkit, I got enough for a little campsite. All relatively cheap on Amazon too, like good stuff, good little tent, good little sleeping bag. Sure, there's a laundromat will be whatever. I like my little utilitarian garb, so I've always had the issue with signing up for Uber Eats here, but if I can sign up for Uber Eats over there or DoorDash, say fuck it, I'll do Uber Eats and DoorDash over there, do the whole shebang, and then do people, food. Whatever, people in food, DoorDash, Grubhub, whatever the fuck they call it. You have all fucking three of the apps going. Bang, bang, boom. McDonald's, here we go. And, you do that enough, and even if it's low traffic for people still like to order in. If the infrastructure if there's enough infrastructure to maintain it, there's always delivering for pizza places and stuff like that too. Delivery, just straight delivery driving. Pizza guy can make good money on a shift. With delivery drivers, but usually you gotta know somebody to get any place like that. You know what I mean? So, I have misgivings. If I had more dough in my pocket, I'd be able to, relax a little bit more about it. But it's going to take me less than 12 hours to get where I want to be, which is like, I drive 8 hours a day, so it's just basically a long shift on highway miles, not even rough miles. So, but it's the moving and like change of address. Some people are pro at it. Some people are pro at it because some people, haven't had the luxurious, haven't had the luxurious lodgings that I've had. Fucking lap of luxury for the past 20 years. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But on the same turn, I haven't made it a financial burden. Maybe I become a liability to holding as an asset. But I don't know, I had misgivings about the last tenant there. She seemed very possessive of the house, and for some reason she felt as though she was entitled to the house. She made it known she felt that way. She also made it known she was a paralegal. So, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do with that? So, she threatened the whole eviction shit, so I was like, what's the issue here? My old man doesn't seem to understand the severity of the threats she was making. And then I guess, he may be financially shortcoming and, doing the boomer shit. Like, he'd be better off breaking it up and spending it on himself and his cruises. Giving it to giving a big share to my brother and his wife because they secured children for them, and he's doing the mini-me. He'll work in the sandhogs until he becomes fucked up like them. I'm not bitter about it. God bless my brother, and if that'll help him get a bigger house, good. It's not exactly empire building. It'll be a more well-off route, and there'll be more well-off routes until they spend up all the money into their golden years. And that's it. And then we'll all just be kind of it'll all just be kind of rubish and no passive income, and rather than have any assets for the future, it'll all just be eaten up. It'll all just eat itself up, and kind of back to the peasant class, rather than you know what I mean? We have people paying us to live, which is like landlords are not exactly popular. Landlords are not exactly popular, but like Donald Trump to tell you start somewhere. But it was never an option with my old man to. I broached the subject with him. It's like, let's get in on the house. Fucking, get the income coming from them, and then, get another one, and you get another one. And it's just, he's never interested in him. He was never interested in that. And, since he was never interested in that, I was like, okay, well, then I'm not going to even bother investing in this one. It's not mine. You have no interest in investing in the future in that respect, so, okay. I guess we just always be working for somebody else. Good for you. Good plan. That's super great plan. Always work for somebody else. That's financial freedom. Like, what the fuck? Honestly. So, 2 weeks uproot and leave. Give up my TLC plates, which I won't get back. Because the plates are closed or whatever. I would have to buy in again. It's like I don't want to work for somebody else. I don't want to do it. There's other ways to make money. Whoa, why didn't you do it yourself? I didn't feel like it. If someone who had the means to make it easy for me, like most other people, Elon with his emerald mines. You know, you start with a little something. You know what I mean? Most people don't start with fucking. Oh, I started with absolutely nothing. You know, I could barely afford to fucking pay anything. And now I'm doing a whole routine or whatever. You know, if it's a business where you need a car to run, you need money to buy the second car. I could have saved up for it, but you know, I was looking at other shit. I didn't really care. I did not really care, and I still don't care, honestly. You know, even if I had the business, even when I was running a couple cars or whatever like that, it still wouldn't pay. You know, without the house. You know, the house made the car thing like that would be, you know, I probably still wouldn't have enough money to purchase the house because, you know, most kids wouldn't. Most people don't make enough money in Bay Ridge to buy their parents out. It's just a fact of life. Like, unless you're fucking top 1% pulling in fucking 300, 400, 500 fucking K a year, you just ain't swinging it. You're not swinging it with the fucking city job. You're not swinging it without help. Let's put it that way. So, that's the reality of the financial situation. And there's things to be said for scrimping and save. You fucking little scooter bitch. I hope the cops snap your fucking heads off. So that's the financial reality. And, you know, like the Diary of Samuel Pepe says, it's like, you know, it used to take 3 generations for people to move out of the city. And then they return back to like fucking regular brute, like nothing going on, like totally clueless fucking peasant class. And it seems like my old man has managed to do it in 1, 2. He's gonna turn both my brother and I back into peasant class pretty quick. That's simply how it's going to be. You know, probably one might imagine the powers that be like it that way. That like you revert back to like more of a peasant, docile, less informed, less curious state to make you more manageable. You know, more manageable. My old man certainly is more manageable these days. You know, vaccine and believe in all the shit hook, line, and sinker. So, you know, it's a sad thing. He's much changed than he used to be. He's a much changed man. I don't know what happened. You know, I guess his cancer thing and with the sour grapes, the whole nine, just, you know, he's tired. He's tired and apparently broke, so he's looking towards his immediate comfort, and I can't blame him. You know, that's the boomer curse, one would suppose. You know, who's not looking for comfort? I had the comfort, and I'll have comfort again, regardless. I'll be comfortable again, regardless. I'll find my way to it. You know, I will find my way towards comfort, and I will find my way towards peace of mind. Regardless, peace of mind and comfort that my old man will never be able to imagine. That's what, that's what escapes him. I'm not married. I didn't marry someone like that. I don't have kids to worry about. And honestly, I didn't really think I was causing him too much mental anguish or whatnot. Just, if he had allowed me to discuss some things that would allay my fears, things would have, I would have been able to allay his fears a little bit. But, I simply just did not want to, I simply rejected the, you must grind your fucking balls into dirt and be miserable like I did. You must do it this way. It's like, no, there's room for disagreement there. There's room for discussion. But if there's no discussion, you can't allay your fears, dude. Sorry, my dude. And you can't help rectify, the reasons I feel why none of this fucking matters. And, it unfortunately turns out I was right in the end about all of it. When I was working at a deli, I got with my manager. And a coworker of mine is like, and my manager had left her boyfriend or cheated on her boyfriend with me. And then my coworker was like, you better be careful, dude. I'm like, why? She's like, if she cheated on you, she cheated on her boyfriend with you, she's gonna do the same. She could do the same thing with you. And I'm like, no way, dude, no way. There's no way that could happen. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. Oh, this fucking truck. I don't give a fuck. Welcome to New York. What the fuck is going on here? Why is this all fucked up? Why are we jammed like this? Oh, is Columbia Street fucked up? Columbia's fucked up. Is Columbia fucked up? I think it might be. It's been like 4 or 5 light cycles. It's not even worth looking at. They had it shut down the other night too, so we go down Evans. Anyways, so that's where I'm at. I didn't even need the GoPro for that. I was like transferring the GoPro off of everything in these fucking cameras. This fucking camera fucking compresses all that shit. Like, it's not even funny. The camera, the fucking Android phones are great. So yeah, that's where I'm at. A lot of misgivings. And I'll probably just even delete this. It's good for therapeutics, but fuck it. I mean, yeah, fuck it. I could upload it to it. Doesn't even Doesn't matter if it's on there. This is a mistake. I should have went up the avenues a little bit. Yeah, it's like, yeah, dude, make your left-hand turn, because this is fucking retarded. You know, and it's sobering. It's sobering. A lot of sobering realizations, but they're not completely unexpected. You know, for biological reasons, people, like, if you look at people like the animals, yeah, they're going to funnel resources towards the person who's producing offspring. Good, good. Clap, 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 clap. Very basic. Very basic. There's no other way to put it. Very basic. Feed the one who has the other mouse to feed. Very basic, but not, like, financially shrewd. I don't know why I assumed that my folks would, like, be cognizant of that kind of thing. Or be able to see that, like, the house is valuable more than just, it's worth a big number. The passive income, even though it's relatively low, it was consistent, and just because my old man can no longer deal with it, to let it go. And then on top of that, it's a shelter, it's a place, it's a fallback as well. So to sell it because he can't handle it anymore, rather than turn it, like, hand over some of the responsibility, or at least just do what I ask to protect the fucking house, you know what I mean? Or at least meet me in some kind of way so that, like, I'm invested in the like, I can invest in the fucking house. But as it seems like the plan has been for a while now, just to fucking, we need more money for cruises, time to break it up, that's it, done, so, fucking, it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. I watch multiple people in multiple families. They break up the house, the wealth is dispersed. That's it. Everybody goes back to being a fucking peasant now. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine. That's why I have no qualms about getting the fuck away from them. I'm not going to have to worry about coming back if they get old and infirm. And that'll just be the way it is. You know what I mean? If they're so long, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Cut off financial ties. There's no getting through to them on this issue. So, if they live long enough, they'll go through all that money too, and then they'll be selling a house in Jersey and living in a trailer in New York, or selling a trailer in New York, and then it's just like, on a long enough timeline, they'll be selling everything, and it'll be destitution, unless Mikey can make enough money to cover the taxes for everybody, because it's just not enough time for apparently, and my old man's like lowballing the number of what the income of the rent should be. But then again, with all said and done, with utilities and stuff, still though, it still seems a little low, the number he said. So I find it hard to trust the old man, but we've never been able to discuss the financials. So, And why is that? Why is he always kept it a fucking secret? You know what I mean? Why has it always been a fucking secret? He doesn't trust me, I don't trust him, so, let's hope he, retains his fucking honor with it, or whatever, because it's, he gave me a number, and that was the whole thing before. He says, what? I already, it's like, no, this is boomer money. This isn't gonna help me do much. This is gonna help me flounder and waste it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sticking around the city renting. You know what I mean? I just don't have a job secured enough. Which, by the way, you need like a fucking 200, 300 fucking K job secured. Which very few fucking people have. Or you need to be married with somebody who's also making fucking, 100, 200 fucking K. You know what I mean? You're talking a nurse and a firefighter. You're talking, and like not a new nurse and firefighter. I'm talking like they've been at it for fucking 10 years. You know what I mean? You're talking tenured school teacher. You're not talking fucking, you know what I mean? You're not talking just standard ass city job. And then you're still tied to the fucking city. So, it's not like you can work a fucking regular fucking gig and then you're just gonna be fucking golden. No, it's just, you're gonna be taking upon yourself, you're gonna fucking give up your quality of life. And it's just like, no, I would rather live modestly somewhere else and improve my quality of life. However humble an existence it may be, but if I don't have to fucking get treated like an asshole on the daily, and I can live and work in a modicum of fucking respect, I'd much rather fucking live like that than to have to deal with fucking the indignation of putting up with shit working conditions and shitbag people. You know what I mean? Much rather, it's so much classier to rather humble myself and live in a nicer area, more laid back, than to fucking eat a shit sandwich every fucking day of my life. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. The old man demands you must eat a shit sandwich. It's like, if that's moving up, then I don't give a fuck what you say. You know what I mean? Like, your plan sucks. My plan was good. Your plan sucks. You're gonna go broke eventually. And, good luck in whatever fucking home Mikey puts you in. Welcome to the future. You know what I mean? And that'll be it. It's all just a joke. It's all just a fucking joke.